furry title Biomutant got a next-gen consoles version this week and new gameplay videos previewing the game natively running on each. The update was announced earlier this year and follows through with its free upgrade for current title owners. For those who already own the PS4 or Xbox One versions of Biomutant, they can also gain a free upgrade to the new version for free on the respective consoles. More good news is that all saves will carry over as well as trophies, achievements, so you can pick up where you left off with higher graphics capabilities on your PS5 or Xbox Series. The footage for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions running natively on their systems promise much faster loading times, as well as HDR, DualSense and activity support for PS5. 3 modes are available, with quality mode running in native 4K at 30 FPS for both PS5 and Xbox Series X. Performance mode running at native 1440p at 60 FPS, and finally Quality Unleashed mode running at native 4K at 60 FPS. If you're curious to find out what we thought about the game, you should check out our Biomutant review. You can also drop by our Biomutant wiki for all your creature adventure needs. As with all news in this week's video, you can find the link in the description below. Developer Hotter Studio has announced an update for Tower of Fantasy, which will be dropping next week, adding a new player housing system, new arena, and a long missile firing boss to the game. Yes, the MMORPG is getting a new island to explore. Here you'll be able to gain crafting materials. It sounds a little bit similar to systems found in games such as Lost Ark, where you can gain materials and craft some useful items. The island is also home to new areas such as the Ringareader, Puddle Lake, and Rusty Iron Camp, where players can face new enemies solo or with friends. The teaser doesn't give away too many details, but it's an exciting addition, especially so soon after the game's launch. The new update also comes with a new threat, the interdimensional Frostfire Dragon. This electronic abomination seems to have wings and shoot long-range missiles at players. Also confirmed is the newest character to join the game, Claudia, who will be debuting the same day with the update. Update 1.5 will be heading to Tower of Fantasy on September 15th. The game is available on PC, iOS and Android. Just this week, the developer CD Projekt Red confirmed the first expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 called Phantom Liberty, which would be launching in 2023. The expansion will be only coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S and PC, and seems to be the only planned expansion for the game. Phantom Liberty was announced during the Night City Wire stream, which showed a minute-long teaser of the expansion. The trailer also confirmed the return of Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand. It looks like V is in for a lot more trouble again. While the gameplay was sparse, it was enough to have speculation run wild. The mere fact that V is pledging themselves to a new government is taking a more political turn. Even the end of the footage contains a scene of a burning New America flag that has drastically fewer stars than the contemporary version. A free update was released this week with crossover content from the Netflix series Edge Runners. This update added a new transmog system, some new weapons, cross-progression features, bug fixes, and new minigames in the form of arcade games. Another exciting update that has players quite happy is the introduction of Red Mod Tools, the official modding tool for Cyberpunk 2077. While mods have existed in the past already, there were no official tools and the current systems have some limitations. Also announced this week, fantasy RPG Asterigos Curse of the Stars got its release date, which is October 11th, 2022 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But you don't have to wait until October to check it out for yourself, as you can pick up the demo, which is available on PC via Steam and will be coming to consoles towards launch. In case you missed it, for a quick recap of the game, it follows Northwind Legion warrior Hilda, who is seeking her lost father and must enter the mythical city of Athens. One thing about the city, it's cursed. The game is inspired by Greek as well as Roman mythologies, including mythical bosses and legions. The action-adventure promises Souls-like gameplay elements with a simple yet dynamic combat system. The developer Acme Game Studio believes it's a fresh take on a modern action RPG genre, according to the Steam page. We checked out the game earlier this year where we got a hands-on experience. The title offers a range of weapons including sword and shield, daggers, spear, hammer, staff and bracelets. The fast-paced combat matched with the wonderful ancient fantasy aesthetic got our attention. That combined with possible build options will really pull players in. The title will have over 20 mythical bosses to face and a new Game Plus mode if you're up for further challenges. Asterigos Curse of the Stars will be released on October 11th, 2022. Make sure to order before the release date if you want to get the pre-order bonuses such as starter armor and trinkets. A new DLC for Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin called Wanderer of the Rift will be released on October 26th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. Players will be fighting their way through the labyrinth of dimensions, which will randomly generate their path to unlock further parts of the story. Also coming to the DLC is a new job Blue Mage and it introduces a special summoning stone, allowing you to summon special monsters into battle. Other new additions include new abilities and a new class of enemies called the Chaotic Monsters, because why not add even more chaos, which sets to give players a much more diverse and challenging experience according to the official description. This is the follow-up to the first DLC, Trials of the Dragon King, which released in July as part of the Season Pass. There will be 3 DLCs in total for the Season Pass, with the last being Different Future offering new missions. Motion Twin and Evil Empire are developers that just keep on giving to their fans. Dead Cells, according to their roadmap in 2023, will be the game's most significant year since its launch. This is quite ambitious as the team has already produced some high quality updates. This time around, the Dead Cells team has released the Enter the Panchaku update on all consoles. Enter the Panchaku was already available on PC back in August, so the consoles version has finally caught up with the new features. The highlight of the Dead Cells Enter the Panchaku update is definitely the newest weapon, a new skin, and another indie crossover. It is also quite impressive to note that this is the game's 30th major update, which is quite the feat for the indie game. But equally important is the ability to pet pets in the game now. New in the Dead Cells Enter the Panchaku update is another cute crossover. This time the pixel-based Soul Knight roguelite has its main character make a surprise appearance in Dead Cells. While the crossover content was already available in the mobile version of the game, it has only now been ported to consoles. The promise of a next-gen patch for The Witcher 3 still looks to be on target for this year, as developer CD Projekt Red says it's on track for the 4th quarter. The next-gen update will be released for Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5, taking advantage of the console's capabilities according to the devs. The exact date for the update has yet to be confirmed. The timeframe is set within Q4 of this year, meaning any time between October and December. The next-gen update for The Witcher 3 has been highly anticipated over the last few years, with the upgrade originally slated for last year. The studio has been focusing on its latest title, Cyberpunk 2077, which has been receiving steady updates since launch. The studio seems to be working on 2 AAA projects according to the financial support, but are keeping it close to their chests for now. What we do know is that CEO of CD Projekt Red, Adam Kaczynski, shared it will be revisiting a world which is an integral part of the CD Projekt Red's history. We already know that a new saga of Witcher games is currently in development using Unreal Engine 5. Also this week, Atomic Heart, which is another highly anticipated game, is potentially being moved to 2023. It is a high-action dystopian look at the 1950s. The title was originally slated for a 2022 release after being developed for quite some time now. With the recent announcement of Focus Home Interactive becoming the publisher, this might potentially change the launch date. The original release date was sometime in 2022, but now the winter has been confirmed as a potential launch window, which could mean as late as March 2023. In case you missed it, Atomic Heart is a story of what-ifs at its heart. The game depicts an alternate reality set in the mid-1950s where the Soviet Union is quite literally a perfect utopia. Robotic machines have been commonplace in daily life, however, something has gone terribly wrong in paradise, and the once peaceful machines have now started an uprising against their former masters. Violent robots and horrific mutants will be the least of the players' worries. Combat-wise, players will have the ability to use some form of electricity from their left hand, and in recent trailers we've also seen flames, while their right hand is able to use more traditional weapons or melee weapons. The game has been teased to have some sort of Souls-like elements according to the Steam page. Nonetheless, it's an interesting game and we'll have to keep an eye on this one to see when it releases. Well, that's it for the Week in the Wikis. Please join us again next week for yet another great week of gaming. Remember to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits. And budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks again for being part of this great community. Keep checking in with us with news, reviews, YouTube streams and vids, and general wiki goodness.